ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Titans Talk with Tania T Cube. Well, it has been quite too long for the episode, but we do have one persona, one of the Titans, whom I'm going to make you meet and greet, and he'll tell you the details about how he is working with Garena and how has his experience worked with not only with Garena but with the casters, with the productions, as well as with the players. So here we go ahead and have a chit chat with him. Hello everyone, this is Tania this side. Today we have got a titan and that titan is known as Mr Misao. I've always been asked कि मैं कैसे गई Garena में. He is the man who sent me the invitation. He is the man who got me recognition in the world of casting. And I would want you to introduce yourself a little, Mr Misao.
Yeah, that was a lot of praise. I don't think I got you into the world of casting. I think you were already casting. To anyone who's tuning in, who has not been in the Free Fire scene, my name is Romeo Misao. I I currently work as one of the ops guys at Free Fire Esports India. You could say I'm one of the guys who's behind the scenes working really hard to push Free Fire in the esports scene. Yeah.
And we can say you are a brick to brick, pillar to pillar to what Free Fire Esports is today, because I don't think by the time you initiated in Free Fire Esports it was so much, and mobile gaming was not even a thing by then when you initiated with Free Fire. So we would like to know your journey, how you initiated, how everything went ahead, and how Free Fire is today what it is.
I think even like a year ago, of course, Free Fire was super popular casually. I think Free Fire's esports, at least in India, boomed in 2020 during, I think, mid of 2020 is when I think Free Fire really picked off. I was the first guy in Free Fire Esports India. So yeah, I've seen the whole, let's just say from the start to where we are, from, the time when we had Crim Wars to the current World Series, FFIC, Free Fire Bangladesh Championship. So I've seen all of that. Even if I was even one of those guys who came up with a lot of the main content ideas. So yeah, I've seen the whole growth scale, and it's been really crazy. Yeah.
And 1.9 million of views live concurrent watching in FFWS. Congratulations for that. Yeah, I was not part then, but still I'm always a Free Fire family, so it was great to see the initiative that you guys, maybe esports was not a thing 2 years back, but certainly after pandemic it has caught up very strongly. Even mobile esports is considered a very strong esports. So according to you, pandemic has given a good hit to esports community, or it is a saddening effect right now?
I think it's a mix of both. Of course, sad because we cannot have LAN events, but the boom is the part where everything kind of boom is because everyone is at their home, they're playing more, and we have more events like closed door events maybe, or online events. But yeah, it has been pretty good for, I think, not just Free Fire, for other titles as well. So yep, it has definitely been more of a boon or a blessing. Yeah, in disguise. Yeah,
Blessing in disguise for sure.
yeah.
So, what would you prefer, LAN over online or online over LAN? What's your choice?
Of course, LAN
LAN,
is
LAN.
LAN is crazy. You get to meet everyone. We get to meet you guys, casters. We get to meet the crew, or it's fun seeing everyone's expression, seeing the pro teams, like go nuts over games. It's nice. The whole feeling of seeing the crowd go wild over matches is something that you would not be able to see in an online tournament. But yeah, right now because of how
And
we are or where we are, we can't.
we can't help it out. So now, apart from esports, what else do you do, Mr. Misao? Because we would also like to know you a little personally. That I know you very well. It has been long 8 months since we know each other, since I've been
Yeah,
casting, and it is already 8 events by far that I've done with you. So
yeah.
now, what else do you do apart from esports?
I mean, apart from esports, of course, I play a lot of games. I play a lot of League of Legends. I play Valorant. I used to compete. I was a semi-pro Counter-Strike player back when there was no mobile gaming at all in India. This was like pre 2010. Uh, I like cooking, and yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I do. I I eat out a lot.
To the
Of
viewers
course,
who don't
that
know,
has
he is one of the finest chef that I've seen. He cooks so beautifully well that in the middle of
yeah,
the
I
night
cook.
also,
I cook.
you can keep us literally glaze at whatever you cook, and you can make us feel hungry on at the same time. Those who don't know, he has got beautiful Instagram stories, and over there we start to feel hungry and put on some extra pounds. He works out a lot, we don't. So somewhere, yeah, your cooking is amazingly well. How was your family? Was it okay when because you're already too much educated, not using your education or for what you could have gone for banking, for you could have gone for any other masters, something like that, but you stuck to gaming. Were your parents happy about it? Were they supportive enough?
I mean, if we go back to the competitive days now, I mean, back then, and if you compare it to now, it's very different, right? The prize pool right now is pretty big. It's almost 10 times of what we used to compete for. Of course, they will not say, oh, great, great, but great, go ahead, play. But I think I was able to fairly balance my study. I was not a bad student. I was not a great student, but I promised them that, hey, I would not flunk.
No.
Just let me play. And yeah, I think I did pretty well. But yeah, I mean, to anyone who's trying to get into esports as a caster or someone who wants to work with a publisher like us, I would say, yeah, get that degree.
The
Yeah.
degree is a must, right? Apart from
Yeah,
playing
I
games.
think it I wouldn't say it's something that represents you fully, but it's always good to have that. Yeah.
Okay, so at the back of the end, education is as important as your
Yeah.
career into
It is. It
esports.
is. It is. Yeah.
O- Okay, and one of the finest memory by far within esports world, one of the best memory that you're going to cherish it for years, years and years coming in.
I would say the in Garena especially, or I would just divide. So for Garena, it would be the first time we hit, I think, 150K plus watching. I know we hit more than that. It was for FFIC. Uh, but yeah, I remember that FFIC fall 150K was like it happened so quickly. I really didn't imagine that would happen that quickly. That was very close to me because I worked really hard for the event. I was doing a lot of publishing. I was running around for a lot of things. Of course, talent management was there, and a lot of back end stuff was there. So yeah, that was one of the memories. That of course we have bigger numbers after that, FFCS, FFWS, but that was really close to my heart. We had a very small team back then, so you know when we pull off something like that, that's what makes me happy, right? So yeah, other than that, other great memory or memory that I'll always cherish is um, when I was competing for a game called Counter Strike 1.6 back then. I think we qualified for the Asia Esports Indian regional finals, which we played in Bombay. I think that was my biggest career highlight because we got to play with the best teams in India, and it was LAN.
Okay.
And yeah, that was probably, yeah, that was my last national event. So yeah, I will probably never forget that. Yeah,
So how did you step up from player to the manager to the event management stuff? Because as a player, you focus more on playing
yeah.
more tournaments, but then how the switch of career within esports itself?
Um, I mean, it came quite natural because I was I spent, let's just say, 6 7 years playing, right? And luckily, I was always in the whole gaming community and PC gaming community, to be precise. I got an offer from a brand which I will not name because they wanted us to market their product because they needed player insights. So that came pretty natural to me, and that's how I really got into the corporate world. And ironically, I couldn't play as much, even though I was in a gaming company. So yeah, that's a misconception a lot of people have. They think we get a lot of time to play, but we don't because we have to do a lot of things so that these IPs or these events come to life. Yeah.
Best part of LAN events you get to meet, and the worst part you did not share about. Because with
Ah,
every good thing you have one thing to just equalize, balance it out. So what is the worst part of the LAN events?
As a player, honestly, if as a player, and I'll tell you as a publisher, as a player, of course, in if it's a PC tournament, worst part if the computers are crap,
Mhm.
then you know that you're not gonna enjoy, or like your matches are late, then you go back to your hotel or you stay very late. That's not fun. And worst part of a LAN as a publisher or as a organizer would be yeah, I would say long matches that drag till the night. I don't like those. Yeah. Then
Oh,
you get super tired. Yeah, and you're always tired because you're doing everything and then you're running around. You get almost zero sleep.
okay. So that affects mental stability, mental health, and then how do you cope with that? Because you have been into this field since quite too long, and there are a
Yeah.
few viewers who would want to join in as well. So a good message for the new joining esports people.
Yeah.
The question no the question is that how do you cope with zero sleep, because with zero sleep you
Oh,
also tend to have a pressure mentally
yeah.
to again give the same
Yeah.
performance very next day, and the events are not single day based, they are
Yeah.
weekly based, sometimes weekend based. So how do you again cope up with the same thing?
I mean, to be honest, if it's a LAN event, you know that it's gonna end maybe after 2 3 days. So you kind of schedule your leave or holiday or whatever you want to call it. But in case you're working from home and you have multiple events, which we do, uh, then yeah, you also schedule it. But then you make sure that whatever event is on that week does not get affected. So you try to wrap up everything and then maybe take a day or two off. But that's very important. If you do not take those off, then yeah, you're probably gonna end up like a zombie.
And pros and cons of work from home, like you already mentioned a little, but the best part of online events recently due to pandemic, so what is
Yeah.
the best and the, I mean, mention both pros and cons.
Pros, I would say you're able to do so many events. At like it's not location bound anymore. And you're able to get so many of those teams play together. Uh, you have, let's just say, there's a lot of interaction that I thought was not possible online, right? And there's so much. What? How do you say this? Let's say I want to do 2 events, right? I could easily do it in that week. But if it's a LAN and if it clashes, you can't have the same branding. You can't have the same things at the same event. So yeah, that's one pros. Of course, the con is of course not being able to meet and see the players, the emotions, and yeah, the hype. The hype at a LAN event is something else. Yeah.
So this is it. And apart from that, anything else that you would want to share about your journey, about something like that? Because I would want to know that you did enter through gaming, you did enter through the publisher or invitation, everything else as well. But apart from that, as you were the, we can say, I did mention brick by brick, you did give something to Garena, which it is time that you gave and that you are never going to get back. So are you happy with the time and commitment that you dedicated to Garena, to Free Fire? And what are your future plans after now?
Of course, I mean, I'm super grateful to Garena for giving me the opportunity. But yeah, I mean, I never thought we would grow this quick, right? In less than 2 years, the kind of numbers that we've seen has kind of shook everyone. I mean, we basically are the most watched esports title. I hope we still are when the video releases. 1.9 million is a huge number. Of course, I mean, I can't take back the time that I've put in Free Fire Esports, but yeah, I would never go back and redo anything or change anything. So yeah, for my future plans, yes, I wouldn't be in Karina by the time this video comes out. I'll be in a different role somewhere. I I guess you guys will have to wait and find out.
What are you going to miss the most once the Garena part is over? What are you going to miss the most?
About Karina.
Yeah.
Of course, my team at Garena, I'll miss them. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you enjoy working, right? I'll miss the Free Fire Esports India team. I wouldn't name all of them specifically, but yeah, let's just say we have a really crazy bunch of fun, cool, talented people, patient people. um, yeah, and I guess you shouldn't credit me, like you shouldn't give me the full credit. It's all because of them, especially publishing Mr. Mayank. I'll just name him. Yeah, yeah. He's one of the guys who really work hard. So yeah, and the rest of the FIFA esports India. Sorry.
Coming
Okay.
back to team, which is your personal favorite Free Fire esports team?
Uh, oh shit, the bias question. Mm, okay, I'll be honest. Galaxy Racer, Team Elite, yeah, these two teams.
These two. And favorite
And
player?
also
Hmm?
I know the guys who play in both teams. I mean, I made some of the content together. I produced almost 80 shows
Hmm.
that you see in the Free Fire Esports India YouTube channel. So I work with at least 100 players. So yeah, I would say GXR and Team Elite. Yeah, favorite player. If I say this name, the guy is probably gonna take this timestamp and.
It's okay. It's okay. You can,
Okay,
and you
okay.
have to.
I think favorite player would be Vasio. Yeah, Vasio.
बासियों है तो
Yeah.
मुमकिन है. It is a very good call.
Hey, Vasio, you owe me a treat after this.
This one was good. Now coming back to the casters, let's go one by one
Oh
to each
God.
casters,
So
and
this is
you
this
have
is
to
the
give
rapid
one
fire.
tag. Yeah, this is the rapid fire. You have to tag them whatsoever
Oh
you feel.
God.
Let's initiate with Hindi first. शुरू करेंगे with aura.
One word.
One word, one sentence, anything you're comfortable with.
He's he's funny. Like you, a lot of people don't know this. Ora is damn funny. The kind of things he says. he's super funny.
And let's head towards evil now.
Oh, punctual. He's super punctual, super nice. I would
AB.
say Sushil is
So
the word for evil. He's so nice. Like he's one of the nicest talent that I've worked with. AB, AB is like he's 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 very hardworking actually. So I would say hardworking. Yeah, he's very hardworking. I've seen him. Like if you ever tell him, hey, this is the feedback and for an event, and he would actually work on it, and you would see it. I never tell him this, but now he knows.
okay, and Mamba.
Uh poster boy. I okay, I'm kidding, not poster boy. He of course he's gonna be super happy. Mr. Personality. He's a great personality as a caster. Would you not want to know yours?
No, now we'll head towards English now, and we'll start with Crips.
Grips. Oh, okay. Grips is another hardworking dude. Like besides Free Fire, I know what he does for other games as well. I don't know how he's able to do all of that and always show up for work. And yeah, I would say multitasker. Yeah,
And then Salty.
Salty is like the new, guy in the hood or the squad. So, but he's pretty good at it, right? That's why, of course, you guys keep seeing him. I would say he's very consistent. Yeah.
And me, last but not the least.
Oh, you're super hardworking. I've told you this. You're super hardworking. The one of the main reasons why, I remember how a lot of people don't know this. This story time. I was actually looking for female casters. There were a lot of people in the list, but I wanted someone I didn't know, someone fresh. And I remember one of my Garena colleagues sent me a clip of yours from your channel and asked me, "Hey, have you seen Tania's work?" And I was like, "I don't know Tania. Let me check." I watched your live stream. I sat there for like 15 minutes. Honestly, I don't spend so much time on live streams. Uh, and then I was like, and then you know what? The match that you were casting was not that super exciting, but you made it super exciting because you gave a detail on what kind of drops are happening, what fights are about to take place. It was pretty. I felt like you did your homework. And yeah, I was like, okay, I think I need to contact her. Yeah.
Thank you. And one thing that you like about the casters in group, and one thing that you don't like.
Of
Yes.
course, one thing is everyone at the end of the day knows, like let's say how to get the show together. Even if there's an issue, you guys have been super fun to work with. Like a lot of people don't know there are several technical issues, and the way you guys have coped up with and made it look like it's so easy is one of the reasons why, of course, we like working with you guys. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any bad thing, but sometimes we tend to get carried away also, and sometimes like there's this whole classroom class. It feels like a classroom sometimes, and yeah, we sometimes get lost. But yeah, I think it's fine. There's nothing really major or anything that bad.
And one thing that you like about players, because for casters it is only a stack of 8 to 10, but for players it is a stack of 100 people altogether participating in a tournament. So something about the all the players doing good, and something bad that you experience through from the players.
Oh God, good of course. Good is okay. I mean, not. Or to be honest, okay. I do speak to a lot of players. I have, in fact, spoken to hundreds. One good thing is the whole drive. They want to prove that they're the best. That's nice because I was once a player and I know that's something I really like. Their drive to be number one, to represent India at the World Series. One thing, there's not one thing. There's many things I don't like about the players.
Okay,
Is
mention any two, three.
sometimes they forget that there are people behind the scene, and when they talk to us, they often are very rude. Um, Honestly, I'm not saying I was not rude at all when I was a player, but I feel like some of the players right now don't understand that there are humans behind the lenses, behind that laptop or behind that phone, and they tend to get carried away. Yeah, I think that's something that I really have seen a lot, at least in Free Fire or other mobile titles as well. I think it's also because they're all young. And also when we competed, there were not many young players. Yeah, so that age difference clearly is there. But yeah, they tend to be a little rude sometimes.
So, what are your calls on DJ Alok, Mr. Romeo? Because DJ Alok has been one of the hot topic every single time for Free Fire. And Alok De Do, Diamond De Do is the culture created these days. And your calls there.
I mean, now that I'm sort of leaving Garena. I mean, my alias or my ninja name was not Alok, right? And I also called myself. I don't remember. I said, yeah, my work number had DJ Alok as a name, so people would call me DJ Alok. Now they know the guy on Discord is me. So on the whole DJ Alok, I mean, what can I say? It's like Gangnam Style for Free Fire, right? And it's never gonna die. I know it's always gonna be there. But yeah, I mean, it was fun being Alok for a while, at
And
least in the Indian community.
and you have been a very good Alok for us as well during the tournaments. You have always healed us. You have always settled us, just like the Alok does for himself as well as all the
I've
teammates.
been the Sage and Sky and Alok.
Yeah, okay, for Valorant, you are Sage and Sky main. Oh my god, inch pinch. I use the same two characters, Sage and
No, no,
Sky.
I use Sage, I
Hmm?
use Killjoy, and I actually main Cypher. Yeah,
Okay, you're Cypher main. That is
yeah.
you like to hold the just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, hold
I
the side.
like to mess with people's head.
That's good to know. Okay, and how to cope with the toxicity, the hate that you receive, because you are here since quite too long, and
Yeah.
the viewers would want to know because they are also, some of them are streamers, some of them are players, some of them are maybe wanting to become some part of production unit. So how to cope up with the hate that you receive, the toxicity that you don't even deserve? How to cope with that?
Honestly, throughout my time, a lot of people, because when we reach out to people, like I would reach out to people because we don't want them to feel like some imposter or some admin is reaching out. Because what happens is when a third party team reaches out, they usually don't respond. So I reach out sometimes. Like I'm like, hey, I'm a senior Garena official. Uh, so, there's a lot of times when they are not really cooperative. So what happens is how I cope up is, of course, I cannot be rude and I can't be like, oh my god, how dare you speak to me? So you have to be super patient. Of course, I think when you work in a very fast-paced environment like Garena, you have to be super patient. It's very easy for me to say, oh, you have to be patient, but it's super tough when you're there, when you're out there, and when you're coordinating with a lot of players. Another other thing is if they're too rude or if there's nothing coming out of the conversation, then what do, Tania? You block.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I mean, you find another way to talk to them. But if it gets too much, then of course you cease contact. That's all.
Mhm. Okay, so you do struggle with small things
Yeah,
to big, big
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah.
The 2 hour, 3 hour scene that we see on stream, that is not it. It is 3 months before that, or maybe even more,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. You accumulate the players, the production unit. So now let's head towards one thing that has happened during the event and which was funny as well as a little troublesome, but you managed to cope it up, get the show smoothened.
Yeah. So it was not an event. It was actually a content shoot. It was with a couple of players and two casters. I will not name them because it's embarrassing. This was a scripted content piece. So we gave both casters and the players script, and the script was in Hindi.
Hmm.
So one of the one of the players didn't know how to read Hindi, and the moment he saw, he's like, "मुझे हिंदी बोलना आता है, पढ़ना नहीं आता." And of course, we gave them in advance. And the thing is, I had to ask someone to write everything in English again, and I sent him a copy. And when we shot that, it was so funny because it was so robotic. Because one of the casters did memorize his line, the other did, but the other was like he was doing a ratta system. He was almost not even looking at the camera, and he would just look here and there, and it was funny. The funny thing was we had to do 100 takes at least because one of the guests in the show he kept forgetting his lines. Okay, and okay, he was John T gaming. So John T kept forgetting his lines, and John T was like, "Arey, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?"
Okay,
So
funny.
I'll never forget that. Like that's one of the reasons why I also love producing content, right? And yeah,
And let's go for a quick out of the game, out of the free fire, just a rapid fire. I'll shoot you some questions. Try to respond
yeah.
as early as possible. Let's go with spaghetti or pasta. Let's start with some food items first.
Oh shit. Spaghetti. So like a disclaimer, I don't like milk-based, cream-based pasta. I like the traditional olive oil, chili flakes, herbs pasta. So spaghetti, yeah.
Tea or coffee?
Oh, this is hard. Shit. Um, Everyone who knows me knows that I love coffee, but I would say tea now. Yeah,
Tea. Okay.
yeah.
Chocolate or biscuits?
I'm not a chocolate fanatic, so I would say biscuit. I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Wow."
Spain, Greece, or Maldives?
Oh, Spain, Greece, or Maldives. I think I would say Greece.
Real Madrid or Barcelona?
Oh my God, a lot of my friends are going to hate me. क्या बोलूं अब?
कुछ तो बोलो बोलो.
Real Madrid. I'm sorry, friends.
Bike or car?
I would say neither. I'm more of I don't have a preference. ठीक है, it's गर्मी, so yeah, car.
Okay. Hard work or luck?
A bit of both, I would say. I mean, you need both. Yeah, but of course, I would say hard work.
iOS or Android?
Uh, iOS. I'm sorry, Android fan.
Okay, it was great. It was great having one-liners with you, one words with you. Any final words to the viewers that you'd want to share? Or anything that
Um,
you would want to say, because I really like the way you have dyed your hairs purple. So I always add a question. Why would you go for purple hairs?
I think you know me, right? I change my hair color like every 2 3 months. Of course, uh, I do it safely. I go to a professional to do all of that. But I change it because I don't do it for anyone. I just like to look different every now and then. Yeah,
Mm, okay. And
yeah.
do you, if you would have kept a pet for yourself, what would it be?
Hands down, a dog.
A dog, for sure. The most
Yeah,
loyal
yeah,
humans. I don't even like calling dogs a animal. They are
yeah,
very close to human, even better sometimes.
yeah.
So yeah, any
True,
final
true.
words for the viewers, like who want to grow themselves into the world of esports, or as a human as well? Because I know you personally, you are one of the finest human I've met, and very helpful as well. From small things to any major things as well, you have always been there by the thicks and thin, not only for me but for everyone else as well. I've seen you. So as a human, a good growth as if they want to grow, have a growth in esports, in that matter also. So a good 2 to 3 minutes worth of your positive words.
So I mean, if you are someone who's playing any competitive game, let's say Free Fire for now, I mean, what would I say? Like, yeah, I mean, keep grinding. Make sure a lot of one of the things that I've seen, right? Since I make content with a lot of players and I talk to them behind the scenes, what I see is a lot of these players do not study their game or their opponent's game. They just play like it's a lobby game sometimes. The difference with the kind of old school players in PC and the kind of approach that we have for mobile pro teams now is very different. Uh, there's no review system. What we used to review our own games. We used to look at our opponent. We used to read. We used to strategize. It was like complete homework. I don't see a lot of that. If you're a player, please do that and keep practicing new things. Watch other clans from other regions. See how they're performing. See what works the best in the current time. Try to always have a backup strategy. What one thing that I've seen even the top Indian teams do is they get targeted by a certain team, and then when I ask them, hey, what happened to this game, and they would say, oh, we got targeted. It's almost like they don't have a backup strategy, which is so sad because if you're a professional, you're supposed to have one, right? Yeah. So and also, please, please, please do not leave your studies unless and until you are 100% sure at the end of the day, you know your professional esports career or your semi-professional esports career is gonna be financially viable for you. But yeah, please do not leave your studies. We are not there yet where orgs or the whole ecosystem is able to give you a very stable income yet. Yeah, compared to, of course, Western or European regions. Yeah.
So we should be having a plan B just in case. That is what you
Yes,
mean.
yes. Plan B. And other than that, if you want to get into esports, there's a lot of things, not just as a player, casters, of course, content creator, or someone who works in publishing, marketing. There's a lot of things. But yeah, you need to love what product you are going to be working for. Okay, that's one of the first things. Unless you don't believe in it, then it's just going to be another 9 to 5 job.
Is there any age criteria for esports that this is the exact age to have a growth in esports, or like that, or there's no such age criteria? Because you don't need much of physical activity there. You need to have a mental stability.
Yeah.
So do you think esports doesn't count age or something?
I think if I would say it doesn't have an age, would be a lie. I mean, every title has a different competitive age uh, requirement, right? But if I would say, I mean, I started off fairly young, but not as young as some of the current mobile pros that I see. But I mean, by the time you're 14, 15, you realize that, it's, I think by the time you're 15, 15 is a decent age to start. But it's not like a whole, it's not a concrete age. So, yeah, don't take that number as oh, I have turned 15, I can go pro now. Yeah, but yeah, if you start early, the good thing is you basically learn a lot of, and your reflexes are actually great when you're young, right? As you get older, your reflexes tend to get a little slow. So yeah, the
That's
earlier the better sometimes.
That's great. It was great
Yeah.
having you, Mr. Misao. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you,
Pleasure is
thank you.
all mine, and it is all my honor to have you in first place, because for me you have been a step easier to get renowned in the world of Garena Free Fire. So thank you once again for having me in.
Thank you. No, no, you don't have to give me so much credit, but yeah, you're doing a great job, and I will see you guys maybe in another title.
How close is it that we are going to see you?
I'm actually going to be taking a short break uh, for a month. Then yeah, you guys probably have to wait and see where I end up.
For sure, we are going to wait.
Yeah,
We want to see where you are rolling over into the next field, because you have brought a very good growth to Garena, particularly for the game Free Fire. And let's see what other things are coming to growth with you. So, thank you once again and take care. Bye.
thank you.